Hey guys, it's Moo. If you've watched a competitive game right now, you've probably seen Urgot. It's a good idea to start abusing this champ in solo queue, like I have. So let's get into the guide, and as usual there are timestamps below. Urgot's passive is Echoing Flames. Urgot's next auto attack has a cone-based shot that does max health damage. Urgot has a shot for each one of his 6 legs, and they each have a recharge time and will do 10% less damage per shot, stacking up to 3 times, in a succession of 5 seconds. This is the ability that makes Urgot put out so much damage, with the percentage based and flat damage that it provides, as well as the ability to have 6 different shots. The recharge time on this ability starts off very long at 30 seconds, but by the time you are level 13 it will only have a 2.5 second cooldown time, which makes the damage you will output later into the game insane. Urgot's Q is Corrosive Charge. Urgot fires a skill shot that will explode after a delay of 0.6 seconds, that will deal damage and slow any of the target's hit. This is Urgot's simplest ability and is used for harass and shoving the wave. Once this ability is maxed, you should be able to kill the caster creeps with this spell and one auto with your passive applied. Urgot's W is Purge. Urgot shields himself for a flat amount plus a percentage of his max health, has a 40% slow resist and ignores unit collision for 4 seconds. During this ability being active, Urgot basic attacks the nearest target with a 3.0 attack speed. Movement will not interrupt his attacks, however his movement speed is reduced by 125. Urgot can also reactivate this ability at any time to stop all of the effects except for any remaining shield HP. An interesting thing to note about this ability is that Urgot's auto attacks will prioritize an enemy champion that has been hit with another one of Urgot's abilities. So try to keep that in mind while using this ability, as it can target minions if you are fighting in a creep wave. This ability makes it very difficult, if not impossible, to trade with Urgot and gives him a lot of outplay potential. It will also activate Urgot's passive, so strafing around your enemy is advised to activate as many of your shotgun legs as possible to deal maximum damage, which also do not have their damage reduced like Urgot's regular auto attacks. Urgot can also activate other abilities during this cast. Urgot's E is Disdain. Urgot dashes in a target direction, deals damage, and knocks aside enemy champions in the way of the dash. If this collides with an enemy champion, it will flip the enemy champion, stunning them and dealing extra damage. This ability can also not be used to traverse terrain. Urgot flipping the enemy with this ability gives him prime time to use his back leg shotguns, which are often unable to be used in a fight without this ability. Urgot's ult is Fear Beyond Death. Urgot fires a line skill shot that will hit the first enemy champion it collides with, will deal damage and slow based on their missing health percentage. You can also reactivate this ability within 4 seconds of it being casted if the enemy is below 25% HP, to suppress the enemy, reel them in, and execute them. Urgot will then fear all enemies nearby for 1.5 seconds and slow them for 75%. This ability makes it very difficult to play against Urgot, giving him insanely high kill pressure at all points in the game. This ability also has a very long range, making it even harder to avoid. A thing to consider about this ability is that it's still a suppression, so having things like a QSS or an ability like Gangplank W will stop the cast when used, as well as other abilities that give you invulnerability like Tryndamere ult or Kayle ult. Urgot can still move while this is channeling. Let's talk about runes. There's only one current viable rune build on Urgot at the moment, and that is Spellbook Primary with Resolve Secondary. Arcane Comment was the previous rune taken on him prior to this rune page, but in all cases it's just inferior to Spellbook. This also allows Urgot access to Time Warp Tonic, which is one of the strongest runes in the game at the moment, with lots of people taking Inspiration Secondary just to get access to it. Urgot can choose between either taking free boots or free stopwatch, and between biscuits or minion dematerializer. Personally, I prefer taking stopwatch over boots because stopwatch will build into Urgot's build quite well, and I like having the option to rush boots if it's necessary for my lane. Choosing between biscuits and DMAT is more matchup dependent, but most of the time I will go DMAT because it gives you more lane pressure while pushing the wave and can guarantee you securing a good base timing. In Resolve, Bone Plating is always taken with a personal choice between Chrysalis and Second Wind. I prefer Second Wind, but it's up to the player. For summoners on Urgot, TP and Flash is always taken in mid or top. With Spellbook Urgot, he gets access to every other summoner in the game, so there's no point in him taking anything else. For starting items on Urgot, you want to take Corrupting Potion, especially with the strength of Time Warp Tonic right now. It is one of the best starting items in the game by a large margin. For your first item, it will always be Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver gives Urgot so much damage and synergizes extremely well with him and his W, which can give him all of the Black Cleaver stacks almost instantly. This will also give him all the damage he needs for the game, as it works so well with him. From this point onwards, Urgot's items can be swapped in any order that suits the game, but generally the next item purchase I'll make is Righteous Glory. The active item on this makes Urgot very difficult to deal with and gives him insane chase potential and will nearly guarantee you get a flip on your enemy unless they have Flash. After those two items, any items out of Urgot's build can be purchased. Adaptive Helm is good if you need some magic resist. Guardian Angel is also good if you want some damage and a revive. Gargoyle Stoneplate is a really great item for Urgot, especially when he is being focused down, as it makes him very tanky, as well as being able to build Stopwatch into this item or GA. Standard tank items such as Randuin's, Warmogs, or even Thornmail can be used to wrap up the build. One item I see being built a lot on Urgot is Frozen Mallet. Don't buy this item. While the slow is nice for Urgot, especially when circling people with his W, it is completely unnecessary with all the CC and slows in his kit. And if you're looking for more damage, just build a Guardian Angel, since Urgot will be lacking any resists if his two items are Black Cleaver and Frozen Mallet. I guess in some very fringe scenarios where you want to carry very hard, you could build it, but at that point you might as well just build a Bloodthirster. Skill order is pretty simple on Urgot. Max Q first for Harass, followed by W, and then E last, taking a point in your ultimate whenever you can. Before choosing your skill for Urgot at level 1, wait until you're in lane. Urgot has a crazy level 1 if you take W, so if you wait in the brush level 1 and the enemy face check you, they will lose nearly all of their HP. However, if they don't, it's better to start Q for the shove and harass. Urgot is extremely strong in the laning phase. He plays like a tankier Jace, being able to harass people down with his Q and then look for all-in fights when the enemy is low. Urgot will naturally be able to shove the wave a lot faster than a lot of other champs because of his passive, which puts out a lot of pressure on the enemy. Enemies will also have difficulty engaging on you because of your passive and your W. That will nearly guarantee that you would come out ahead in a trade. Once you hit level 6, you will be able to use your spellbook to change your summoner spell to Ignite, so you want to look for an all-in, as you are nearly guaranteed to kill your opponent. For your full combo, you want to land your Q, you can then get in range for your E, and proceed to auto attack followed by your W, while trying to strafe around them and proc as many of your passive as possible. When you are in close, you can go for the ult, nearly guaranteeing it will land. Ulting a bit before you are in execute range is always the best idea, as you'll get the additional slow and the damage from the ult to help finishing them off. Urgot is strongest early to mid game. He doesn't necessarily fall off late game, as his ability to kill people and execute people is always useful, but similar to other juggernauts like Darius, he can have difficulty teamfighting, when you get out damage and generally CC'd and locked up. Urgot lacks engage of his own, which makes his teamfighting worse, so if possible pair him with a champ that can initiate fights so Urgot can follow up. Urgot is the best top laner in the game right now, and is very strong in mid lane as well. He's extremely difficult to deal with in lane and can snowball really easily. He is great setup for ganks and can take a lot of punishment and dish out a lot of damage. If you're looking for an end of season LP boost, this champ is one of the best. Oh wow, you haven't clicked off the video yet. Good job you. I'm going to reward you with some sponsors and my Twitter, which is @HeyGuysIt'sMoo. So if you could follow me there, that would be great. Also follow Phelan Gaming on Twitter @Phelan Gaming, obviously, makes more sense. And we also have merch. The website is Gamers Apparel. The link will be in the description. We have a really nice hoodie actually, so go check that out if you're in the mood for some Phelan merch. And also I'd like to plug Headshot Designs. He does some of the graphics for us and the team. So if you ever need some graphics done, he's your man. Wow, I actually did it. So I guess I'll see you guys soon sometime. Woo! Take